Rule number 1. Never check anyone into room 313. Rule number 2. Don't speak to the guests in the mirror. Rule number 3. The final and last rule. When the hallway clock chimes at 3 a.m., hide. The Grand Penumbra Hotel was built in 1897 and hadn't aged gracefully. With rotting velvet wallpaper, gaslight sconces still flickering on the walls, and a faint mildew scent stitched into its carpets, it was the kind of place that looked like it had memories. Dark ones. Jonah Kirk needed a job. He stood before the front desk, suitcase in one hand, his resume in the other, sweat making his collar cling to his neck. Mrs. Dolores Lyle, the hotel manager, wore a dated black suit and a smile that didn't touch her eyes. She examined Jonah in silence. Silence longer than anything necessary. And then she slid a small paper across the counter. Sign this and initial next to each rule. Break any of them, and you're terminated. No exceptions. Jonah blinked. Rules? She didn't blink. Survival rules. Jonah took the overnight desk job. Midnight to 7 a.m. Easy, supposedly. Most guests were asleep already. But Penumbra wasn't your average hotel. Rule number 1. Never check anyone into room 313. That was easy enough. The room didn't even appear on the old computer system. His first night started quietly. A storm blew in around 1 a.m., sending cold drafts through the lobby. Jonah poured coffee and scrolled through job listings, just in case. Then the bell rang. A man in a dark coat stood at the desk, pale, soaking wet, no umbrella.
One room, please. I'd like 313.
Jonah glanced at the rules laminated beside the desk. I'm sorry, sir. That room's unavailable. The man's eyes darkened.
You don't understand. I need it.
Jonah felt something move behind the man, something tall and crooked. A shadow that didn't match his shape. I'm sorry, Jonah repeated, voice shaking. It's not listed. I can't help you. The man frowned, then slowly turned and walked out of the front door, without opening it. Rule number 2. Don't speak to guests in the mirror. He'd almost forgotten this one until his second night. There was a mirror above the concierge's desk, a long one that reflected the lobby. Jonah hated it. It always seemed to shimmer like it was full of fog. At 2:12 a.m., a young woman came down the stairs in a silk gown. She looked lost. Miss? Jonah called. She didn't respond, just stared at the mirror. Then, in the mirror, she smiled at him. Not the real woman, but her reflection. The real one kept staring, blank-eyed, but her mirrored self looked at Jonah directly and said, "You shouldn't be here. He's awake now." Jonah nearly bolted, but remembered the rule. Don't speak. The mirrored version grinned wider, her teeth too many, too sharp. "You should have checked him into 313. Now he's walking the halls." Jonah shut his eyes. When he opened them, she was gone. Rule number 3. When the hallway clock chimes 3 a.m., hide. The third night, Jonah waited for it. The old grandfather clock outside the east hallway ticked louder than usual. At 2:59, it stopped ticking entirely. Then came the chime. Bong. Bong. He ran behind the counter and ducked beneath it. One more loud chime. Bong. He He covered his mouth. From the hall, wet footsteps approached slowly. Slap. Drag. Slap. Drag. He heard heavy breathing, then whispering.
Room 313.
Jonah dared a peek. Something tall and gray stood in the lobby. Its limbs were too long, its head tilted at impossible angles. It sniffed the air.
Where's the boy?
It dragged a broken bellhop cart behind it, hooks hanging from its frame. Jonah's heart thudded so loud he feared it would hear him. The clock chimed its last note. The thing hissed.
Next time.
And vanished. Miss Lyle returned at 7 a.m., sharp, fresh as a daisy. See? Not so bad, is it? She asked with a crooked smile. Jonah stared at her. What is this place? She lit a cigarette. A hotel? Some guests don't know they're dead. Some know and don't care. We just keep them comfortable. He stood, grabbing his coat. I'm done. She handed him an envelope. Inside was 600 and a silver key. If you're done, return this to room 313. He froze. I'm not going in there. She leaned close. Then you will be back tonight, because he's marked you, and the only way out is through. He waited until daylight, noon. The sun was out. He climbed the stairs slowly. Room 313 looked normal enough, dusty, unused. The silver key fit. The door opened on its own. Inside was a single bed, a mirror, and a man. The same man from the first night. Dry now, dressed in funeral clothes. You came, the man said. Good. It's time. Time for what? The man's smile cracked ear to ear. To switch shifts. The room spun. Jonah felt cold claws pulling at his spine. Now he stands at the front desk. Same uniform. Same rules framed beside him. He doesn't blink much anymore. Rule number 1. Never check anyone in to room 313. Rule number 2. Don't speak to guests in the mirror. Rule number 3. When the hallway clock chimes 3 a.m., hide. The bell rings. A young man walks in, suitcase in hand. Here for the night? Jonah asks, smiling coldly.
We have one room left.